Hello. Let's see what the vibe is for today. What the fuck is going on, guys? What the fuck is going on? What's the fucking tea? What it be? What it ain't? The Eight of Cups in reverse. The Tower. And the Hierophant reverse. Resistance, with the Eight of Cups there being in reverse, a sense of resistance towards something, regarding something here. But I feel to say, though, that I feel like this sense of resistance is only coming up because there is, to an extent, some kind of knowing that with this Tower, some kind of shift, change is bound to happen. There's understanding of it, and especially because it's the Eight of Cups, and the cups focus on the water element, and you can relate the water element to perhaps, intuition and whatnot be. Intuition show, regardless of element, intuition. Okay. Your passion, or your intuition. I'm not okay. I guess what I'm just trying to say is that your intuition isn't only just something that is gonna show up through your emotions. Intuition communicates with you in many ways, is what I'm saying here. But I say the cups because water element, and you think of the moon, things of this nature. Obvious. I hope that makes sense and whatnot here. And I just feel on an intuitive level, there's this understanding or this awareness that something is happening, something is taking place here. And I think that in this sense, it's kind of perhaps bringing up something perhaps a little bit uncomfortable, shall I say, with the Eight of Cups there in reverse. Yeah, a lot of turbulent, it's giving the energy of just kind of just the waves really crashing against the rocks, really turbulent, kind of a sense of turbulence energetically, emotionally, not energetically, subconsciously or consciously, whatever. But yeah, there's something about that, whatever. But nonetheless, the Tower, whatever, it's kind of just, as I always say, whatever is built upon an unstable foundation, it needs to come crumbling down, you know what I mean, so that something new, better, and stronger can be built in the place of that, in the face of that. With the Hierophant there in reverse, it's naturally just the energy of just breaking away from something. Yeah, look, you have the Wheel of Fortune here at the top of the deck, which naturally focuses on changes, The King of Wands there in reverse at the back. Where do I want to split, though? The Nine of Pentacles. Because naturally, on the other side of this is something very fruitful, something very abundant. But sometimes to get to the desired things, whatever it may be, truthfully requires, facing a lot of uncomfortable things, feelings, emotions, fears, whatever, right? Yeah. Okay, just that King of Wands again in reverse. That's interesting. Why the King of Wands in reverse? It's funny, that's the one that flipped over. Ace of Cups in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse, and the Chariot in reverse. It's just some kind of block. It just feels naturally just some kind of block here with the Hanged Man in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, and the Ace of Cups there in reverse. So definitely with the King of Wands, it could be a person, but I don't want to focus on that. I'll just kind of make it a little general here. The King of Wands is in reverse, that's a very, what's the word, domineering kind of word. Very quick to easily fused, shall I say, you know. And you know, when you're in that energy, right, you do like a lot of frantic kind of things, naturally as well too, very egotistical, but very controlling, very domineering, impulsive, shall I say, and whatnot here. But let's think about that, right? Where does that come from, right? Where does this need to control other people come from, or just to control outcomes come from? What's on the, I guess what I'm trying to say is what's on the surface underneath of operating in that manner, right? And I guess perhaps let's just say, how can I correlate that to this here? I mean, to an extent, like operating in that energy, it's rooted in some kind of fear, you know what I mean? Some kind of fear of something, right? But that's the resistance right there, right? And to an extent, you just need to surrender and not allow these kind of whatever it may be to like really control you, right? I hope this is it's making sense to me, and I hope it's making sense to whoever ends up seeing this or whatever. There's something about needing to surrender naturally and shift in perspective naturally with the Hanged Man and the Chariot there in reverse, just perhaps just easing, or you know, urging to just kind of just slow down a little bit. And like I said, it definitely can be like some kind of person or something, whatever, energetically, but I don't really want to just focus on that. I just kind of really want to, because it doesn't even have to be that as well too. It can just be a kind of energy, the kind of energy that the King of Wands in reverse, like, you know. And the King of Wands, like in general though, it's a very confident, it's a go-getter, it's the energy of an entrepreneur, right? And to be in that energy like as well too, you know, just requires doing